Freeze the frame on Aurora's announcement. He asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes. It should have been her moment, pure, simple, and sweet. But inside that small living room, something shifts. Cameras capture Robyn smiling proudly, but not for long. Her expression flickers, a split second too much. The corners of her mouth tighten, her eyes drop. Blink, and you might miss it, but on replay, it's impossible to ignore. Then, Kody steps in. He can't resist. He leans forward, trying to turn this quiet milestone into his stage. With that half-smirk fans know too well, he asks Aurora, "Does he look at you the way I look at your mother?" The question drops like a stone. It's not playful, it's performative. The kind of line meant to center himself, not his daughter. Aurora laughs nervously, unsure how to respond. Robyn's smile freezes. Her chin dips. Her laugh comes late and lands flat. The audience can feel it, the tension sitting heavy in the air. That 3-second moment became viral gold, replayed, dissected, and time-stamped by fans who saw the truth hiding in plain sight. Cut to Robyn's confessional. She tries to soften the moment. "I'm just shy," she says. "I'm still learning how to be affectionate on camera." But her body says otherwise. When Kody leans in for a kiss beneath a half-hanging mistletoe, Robyn's reflex kicks in. "That's not mistletoe," she laughs, but her laugh isn't light. It's a shield. For longtime viewers, that single dodge says everything. Not now. Not like this. Not for the cameras. Look closely at the triangle of attention, Aurora glowing with new love, Brody polite but cautious, Robyn forcing calm, and Kody, desperate to narrate every second. He's not listening, he's performing. He's watching himself in real time, framing his daughter's milestone as another scene in the Kody and Robyn story. Robyn's reaction is subtle but damning. Her head shifts just slightly, a tiny shake that says what her words can't. The contempt isn't loud. It's microscopic, a muscle twitch, a sharp blink, a long exhale through the nose. Fans caught it all, frame by frame. And that's what makes this scene so powerful. It's not a blow-up. It's not yelling. It's a quiet unraveling, a mother wanting this moment to belong to her daughter, and a husband who can't let go of center stage. The camera lingers on the tiny Christmas tree behind them, small, cramped in the corner, glowing weakly against the tension in the room. Kody reaches for reassurance. Robyn gives him politeness. The space between those two gestures tells the whole story. The scene that should have been heartwarming instead becomes the season's defining metaphor, the moment the performance finally stops fitting the plot. Aurora's milestone, a sweet, nervous 22-year-old introducing her boyfriend, is overshadowed by a father who can't help but turn joy into self-validation. Kody chuckles awkwardly, still trying to hold the spotlight. Robyn shifts uncomfortably, her smile tightening. The camera zooms in, and in that second, the facade cracks. What was supposed to be a family celebration turns into a masterclass in dysfunction. Aurora's new beginning becomes Kody's rerun of old habits, making everything about himself, proving, again, that his story always takes priority. Robyn tries to patch the moment with a quick, "It's different, Kody," but even her tone betrays her. It's polite, measured, and edged with exhaustion. Aurora looks down at her hands. Brody, poor Brody, just smiles, the outsider realizing he's walked into a scene far bigger than him. That one interaction revealed the true hierarchy of the Brown family. Even in his daughter's love story, Kody finds a way to be the main character. Every smile, every interruption, every half-joke exposes the imbalance, a father obsessed with attention, a mother exhausted by pretense, and a daughter quietly fading out of her own spotlight. For years, fans watched Kody and Robyn's chemistry fade from tender to tactical. What once seemed like genuine affection now feels like performance art, rehearsed, hollow, and uncomfortable. Kody's love language is display. If it's not on camera, it's not real. So, he performs, touching Robyn's shoulder, cracking awkward jokes, reaching for validation that never quite lands. But Robyn isn't playing along anymore. Her reactions are slower, guarded. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Her laugh doesn't ring true. And when he leans closer, too close, she steps back just enough for fans to notice. That half-inch of distance says more than any argument could. Once upon a time, Robyn explained her discomfort as camera shyness. But now, her body tells a different story, arms crossed, posture tense, glances toward the crew like she's silently asking, "Are we done yet?" Social media caught on instantly. Clip after clip surfaced showing Robyn leaning away every time Kody tries to pull her closer. "She's not shy," one fan wrote. "She's done." Kody doesn't see it, or doesn't want to. He doubles down, turning affection into proof, performance into desperation. He insists, "Now we can finally show our love," but the words sound less like celebration and more like pleading. Robyn's eyes glaze over. Her nods turn automatic. It's the look of someone who's mastered survival, stay agreeable, end the scene, move on. By the time the moment fades, one truth is crystal clear. Kody is acting. Robyn is enduring. And the love story they once sold to America has turned into a live broadcast of slow-motion disconnection. The family's illusion of unity has finally dissolved. What remains isn't a marriage built on love, it's a partnership bound by habit, image, and the desperate need to look happy for the cameras. Every moment is recorded. Every glance, every silence, every missed cue. And what used to be chemistry has now turned into choreography. Nothing exposes tension faster than a family holiday, and this Christmas episode proves it. The Brown home is dressed in twinkling lights and shiny ornaments, but beneath the glitter, the air feels heavy, suffocating even. Kody's mission is clear: prove to the world that he and Robyn are still the picture of marital bliss. But the harder he tries to display affection, the wider the gap between them grows. The scene opens in their cramped game room, a small Christmas tree tucked awkwardly into the corner, almost like it's apologizing for taking up space. It's a perfect metaphor for the season itself, a forced display of cheer masking the emptiness beneath. Robyn hangs ornaments with quiet focus, methodical and distant. Kody hovers behind her, searching for his cue to turn this ordinary moment into a public performance of affection. Then Aurora's boyfriend, Brody, arrives. For a brief second, the room lifts, laughter, warmth, genuine energy. Aurora glows with happiness. But then Kody steps in. He greets Brody with an overeager grin and says, "Hey, Brody. The kids are excited to see you." Aurora's not though. The line lands like a brick. Aurora forces a nervous laugh. Robyn's head snaps up, her eyes flash irritation. What was meant as humor feels more like dominance, a test wrapped in a joke. Brody laughs politely, unsure how to respond. Robyn's smile tightens. Her body angles away from Kody, quietly rejecting the energy he's bringing into the room. As the family decorates, Kody keeps inserting himself into every conversation. If Aurora and Brody talk about their plans, Kody interrupts with stories about his youth. When Robyn tries to steer the moment back to the kids, he teases her for being too shy. She laughs, a small, hollow sound, then busies herself with the garland, trying to avoid eye contact. The rhythm between them is completely off. Kody performs for attention. Robyn withdraws into polite silence. It's like watching two people dance to different songs, one loud and offbeat, the other trying to disappear. Then comes the infamous mistletoe exchange. Kody points toward a branch overhead and grins. "Look. Mistletoe. You know what that means, right?" Robyn doesn't even glance up. "That's not mistletoe," she replies flatly. He pushes again. "If it's got berries, it's mistletoe." She forces a smile and mutters, "Let's not embarrass Aurora," before walking away to fix the lights. The camera lingers on Kody's face. For just a split second, the mask slips. His grin falters, replaced by something raw, wounded pride. He quickly recovers, pretending to laugh it off. But the damage is done. Even Brody looks uncomfortable now, glancing around like he's trapped in the middle of someone else's argument. Trying to ease the tension, he turns to Aurora and says softly, "You're my special lady." It's a sweet, harmless moment, until Kody ruins it again. He mimics Brody's tone and blurts out, "What about me, mama? Am I your special guy?" The joke lands with a thud. Robyn's face freezes somewhere between disbelief and exhaustion. Her patience is visibly thinning. By the end of the night, the contrast couldn't be clearer. Aurora and Brody share real, unfiltered joy. Kody and Robyn share tension disguised as affection. The tiny tree twinkles behind them, a perfect symbol for their fading spark. What should have been a cozy family holiday becomes a stress test for a marriage hanging by a thread. And if that wasn't awkward enough, what follows makes it worse. Because right when things start to settle, Kody decides to turn the evening into something else entirely, a morality lecture no one asked for. He sits down, clearing his throat, the self-proclaimed patriarch ready to teach a lesson. With Brody sitting nervously beside Aurora, Kody launches into a sermon about purity, chastity, and, in his words, protecting my daughter, even from yourself. The room goes still. Robyn blinks slowly, her expression tightening into disbelief. Kody's tone grows serious as he continues, "When you're dating," he says, "you're kissing another man's wife until she becomes your wife." The words land like a thunderclap. Aurora's cheeks flush bright red. Brody freezes, unsure whether to laugh or apologize. Even Robyn exhales audibly, a small, tired laugh that sounds more like a sigh. To the audience, this wasn't an impulsive remark. It was doctrine, a leftover relic from Kody's old belief system, the same one he's spent years claiming he outgrew. But this moment proves otherwise. He's quoting the same purity laws that once defined their polygamist past, the same rules that turned love into property and affection into ownership. Robyn's body says what her mouth won't. Her shoulders rise, her lips press together. Her arms fold across her chest, classic signs of silent frustration. For years, she's softened his image, excused his rants, and smiled through his lectures. This time, she doesn't bother. Kody keeps talking, oblivious. He turns his point about purity into a full sermon about love, restraint, and responsibility. He leans forward, gesturing passionately, a man convinced his outdated wisdom still carries weight. Aurora looks down at her lap, her fingers fidgeting. Brody nods politely, saying nothing, his discomfort written all over his face. The cameras cut to Robyn again, her expression blank, her eyes distant. This isn't concern. It's secondhand embarrassment. In one scene, Kody manages to turn a simple introduction into an awkward theology class. Aurora wants freedom. Brody wants acceptance. And Robyn just wants it to stop. When the lecture finally ends, the silence in the room feels heavier than before. Robyn forces a small smile, trying to reset the tone, but it's too late. Kody's words didn't show authority, they exposed his insecurity. The episode tries to lighten things afterward with a small gift exchange between Aurora and Brody, but even that backfires. Aurora giggles as she tells the story of how Brody once gave her a pocketknife, as a joke about how protective her parents are. He said I could use it on him if I needed to, she laughs. It's sweet, playful. A young couple's inside joke. But Kody doesn't laugh. His expression hardens instantly. He seizes the moment, twisting it into another speech. You see, he begins, that knife represents responsibility. And just like that, he's back to preaching again, this time about love, danger, and emotional risk. It's impossible to love someone without the potential of getting hurt, he says, leaning forward like a man addressing a congregation instead of his daughter's boyfriend. Aurora's smile fades. Brody sits still, respectful but trapped. Robyn lets out a deep sigh, the kind that's been building for years. Her jaw tightens, her composure cracks. That sigh, that single, quiet exhale, is louder than anything she could say out loud. After years of watching her husband lecture, dominate, and talk over everyone, something in her finally gives way. And in that single moment, caught forever on camera, we see it, the exact second Robyn Brown stops pretending that everything is fine. Kody keeps going, completely unaware of the discomfort building around him. He continues his sermon, clutching the knife metaphor as if it were holy scripture. A man's job, he says solemnly, is to protect my daughter, even from himself. He delivers it with such grave sincerity that you'd think he expected applause. But instead, the camera catches something else, Robyn's eyes rolling, just barely, before she drops her gaze to her hands. That single movement becomes instant social media gold. Fans freeze frame it, clip it, meme it, calling it the moment Robyn's mask finally slipped. Brody tries to lighten the tension, saying he'd never hurt Aurora, but Kody seizes that comment like fuel. He doubles down, elaborating about how real men wait, protect, and prepare for marriage. His words sound less like fatherly wisdom and more like rehearsed lines from a sermon decades out of touch. Robyn's expression says it all, caught between disbelief and quiet humiliation. By the time the exchange ends, the mood in the room has collapsed completely. Aurora sits silent. Brody stares at the floor. And Robyn looks exhausted. The knife that was meant to symbolize young love now represents everything wrong with Kody's worldview. Control disguised as care, authority mistaken for affection. And through every micro-expression, Robyn tells the truth. She isn't just frustrated for her daughter, she's frustrated with her husband. The man beside her can't seem to speak without turning every moment into a sermon about himself. For years, Robyn has played the role of peacemaker, smoothing his ego, justifying his tone, nodding through his monologues. But not this time. This time, her patience visibly breaks. It happens right after the knife talk. The room grows quiet, but Kody can't handle silence. He looks at Aurora and Brody, watches their shy smiles, and, like clockwork, turns the spotlight back to himself. Does he look at you the way I look at your mother? He grins. The air freezes. Aurora's polite smile trembles. Brody stares down at the carpet. And Robyn exhales sharply through her nose, that universal sound of someone running out of patience. This isn't new. Fans have seen it before. Every time affection blossoms around him, Kody makes it about him. When Christine found love with David, Kody overcompensated with public declarations of his perfect marriage. When Janelle's children thrived on their own, he played the all-knowing father. And now, when Aurora steps into her first real relationship, he hijacks her joy to validate his own failing one. It's not jealousy of Brody, it's jealousy of attention. Then, in one moment that fans instantly dubbed the mirror scene, Robyn lets the truth slip. As Kody mimics Brody's affection, smiling, leaning close, trying to be playful, Robyn forces a laugh and says, Kody's a romantic person. Anytime he sees someone else being romantic, he wants to be romantic too, with me. Her tone is light, but the sarcasm slices clean through the air. It's the sound of a woman calling out her husband's insecurity, and disguising it as flattery. Kody doesn't catch it. He beams, takes it as praise, and wraps an arm around her. Robyn's shoulders stiffen instantly. She doesn't lean in. Her smile fades almost as soon as it forms. The editors hold the shot just long enough for everyone at home to notice. What's supposed to read as affection looks more like resistance. Her body language says what her voice won't. Don't make me fake this again. And the internet noticed. Body language experts flooded Reddit and TikTok, dissecting every frame. They pointed out the way Robyn's eyes glaze, her posture locks, and her smile evaporates the moment Kody touches her. They called it the mirror moment, the second she stopped protecting his image and started showing how she really feels. Because it's not about affection anymore. It's about hierarchy. When someone else is loved, Kody needs to be loved more. When someone else is praised, he must be praised louder. Robyn's comment, whether accidental or calculated, is rebellion wrapped in irony. For the first time, she publicly reframes his behavior not as passion, but imitation. Kody, blissfully unaware, keeps smiling. But Robyn's eyes tell a different story. The tolerance is gone. The patience that once defined her has thinned to nothing. And the woman who once shielded his ego is now done doing damage control. For years, Robyn was his mirror, reflecting back the version of himself he wanted the world to see. Now, that reflection is fracturing in real time. What used to be their shared strength, their chemistry, their synchronized performance, has become their undoing. The competition that once fueled their bond is now tearing it apart. Fans of Sister Wives recognize the look. That tiny twitch at the corner of Robyn's jaw. The blink that lasts a second too long. The sigh through her nose when Kody starts another self-centered tangent. In behavioral psychology, they call it emotional leakage, those split-second flashes of real feeling that escape before the mind can mask them. And in this episode, Robyn's leakage is constant. Every pursed lip, every half-smile, every sideways glance screams the same emotion: contempt. Contempt, the quiet killer of relationships. It's not rage, not tears, not shouting. It's the calm indifference of someone who's emotionally checked out. During the Christmas scenes, it's everywhere. When Kody nudges her under the fake mistletoe, she doesn't look up. Her smile freezes. Her laughter comes half a second late, the universal rhythm of obligation. The camera lingers just long enough for us to see her eyes dart toward the crew, silently begging, cut. This isn't anger. It's surrender. Her body's saying enough, even as her mouth keeps saying okay. The most telling moment comes during Kody's sermon about kissing another man's wife. Robyn looks at him, not like a partner, but like a stranger saying something embarrassing at dinner. Her mouth tightens, the corners twitch downward. It lasts less than a second, but it's enough. Fans freeze frame it, slow it down, and compare it to her early seasons, the days when she looked at him with admiration. The difference is staggering. The Robyn who once glowed beside him now looks strained, disconnected, and done pretending. She used to be the image of patience, soft voice, steady grace, emotional warmth. Now, all of that feels gone. Kody's endless need for validation has turned her from peacemaker into prisoner. In a confessional later, she tries to explain it away. She says being on camera with him can be embarrassing, that she's still learning to show affection. But her tone is flat, detached, like she's reading a line from a script she no longer believes. Relationship experts say contempt is the final warning sign, the one emotion no marriage survives for long. It's the moment affection curdles into superiority, when one partner stops taking the other seriously. And that's what we're watching now. Robyn doesn't argue. She doesn't fight. She just stops showing up. Her silences speak louder than Kody's lectures. By the episode's end, the pattern is painfully clear. Every gesture Kody makes to prove love only widens the emotional gap. Every time he reaches for connection, she pulls away a little more. His affection has become her evidence, proof of what's missing. What fans are seeing isn't just awkward television. It's the slow-motion collapse of a marriage, one strained smile, one forced laugh, one hollow holiday at a time. For more than a decade, Kody and Robyn Brown were the symbol of endurance, the surviving couple in a world of broken vows. Their love was marketed as the reward for sacrifice. But this new season flips that script completely. What once looked like devotion now feels desperate. What was once framed as faithfulness now reads like fear. And as the cameras keep rolling, one truth becomes harder and harder to ignore: the fairy tale didn't end. It simply fell apart in public. Kody and Robyn were supposed to be the proof that the Sister Wives experiment hadn't failed, just evolved. They became the PR face of the Brown family's new chapter, the monogamous fairy tale built from the ashes of plural marriage. TLC leaned into the narrative hard: the romance, the reconciliation, the idea that these two were soulmates who fought through chaos to find peace. For years, they were the happy ending. The survivors. The storybook couple who made it out intact. But now, that illusion is cracking. As Christine, Janelle, and Mary walked away, the spotlight on Kody and Robyn grew harsher, hotter, and impossible to hide behind. The image that once made them the centerpiece of the franchise is now exposing just how much of it was performance. In the latest episodes, that pressure finally shows. Robyn looks weary, not broken, but burdened. Every time Kody reaches for her on camera, it feels less like affection and more like desperation. He clings to her as if she's the only piece of the brand he has left. Her love, or the idea of it, is the last shred of proof he has that he isn't the villain of this story. But the more he tries to prove their devotion, the more hollow it sounds. Every staged smile, every scripted kiss, every line about how strong we are rings false. Their marriage used to represent loyalty and faith. Now, it's about damage control. And the audience knows it. Social media reactions were brutal. Clips of Robyn's sidelong glances and Kody's forced charm spread like wildfire, captioned with lines like "the mask is slipping." Fans called their interactions awkward, embarrassing, and impossible to watch. Even longtime supporters, the ones who once defended them, are starting to admit that what they're seeing now isn't love. It's obligation. The couple that was once TLC's strongest now feels like it's most uncomfortable. And that's dangerous. Because this isn't just about feelings, it's about business. The Browns' marketability depends on that image of a strong, faithful union. Their cameos, interviews, and brand deals all orbit around the idea that Kody and Robyn made it. But reality TV doesn't reward fakery anymore, it thrives on authenticity. When Kody begs for affection or delivers another purity lecture, it doesn't look spiritual anymore. It looks hypocritical. The brand that once inspired sympathy now fuels memes and mockery. And Robyn knows it. You can see it in the way she moves, the clipped replies, the guarded smiles, the silences she no longer fills. She's stopped protecting Kody from himself, and that absence exposes him more than any argument ever could. For viewers, this isn't just a marriage unraveling. It's a brand collapsing in real time. Their problem isn't that they've fallen out of love, it's that the version of love they've been selling no longer matches reality. The story that once made them relatable is now their biggest liability. Each forced smile, each uncomfortable scene chips away at what little credibility they have left. By the episode's final minutes, it's all there, the quiet unraveling. The decorations are still up, the lights still twinkle, but the warmth has drained out of the room. Kody tries to wrap things up with a sentimental speech. He looks into the camera and thanks Robyn for making it all happen. She smiles faintly and replies, "Of course." Her tone is polite but detached, perfunctory, like someone finishing a script. Her body turns slightly away from him. Her hands fold neatly in her lap. A woman keeping it together for the cameras, not for the man beside her. The edit cuts between them, Kody narrating their love story, Robyn staring down, blinking hard, lips pressed together. One partner is still selling the fairy tale. The other stopped buying it a long time ago. By now, the pattern is unmistakable. Each time Kody reaches for validation, Robyn retreats deeper into silence. What used to read as tenderness now feels transactional, affection traded for image. He demands proof of love, she gives him performance. And in that exchange, the entire power dynamic quietly flips. For the first time, Robyn isn't feeding the illusion, she's starving it. Her silence has become her rebellion. By saying less, she's saying everything. Kody still doesn't see it. He's too focused on optics, still convinced that if he can just act passionate enough, fans will believe in them again. But the more he performs, the more her stillness exposes him. Because contempt doesn't explode, it erodes. It eats slowly, silently, until all that's left is tolerance. And what we're watching now isn't partnership, it's two people coexisting in emotional ruins. The irony is painful. Kody once dreamed of building a united family compound on Coyote Pass, a symbol of connection. Instead, what he's built is this, a house filled with silence and unspoken resentment. The little Christmas tree in the corner, small, lonely, half-lit, says everything. It's the perfect metaphor for the season, the marriage, the family. A hollow symbol pretending to shine. As the episode ends, you can feel it, the story has come full circle. The show that began as a celebration of shared love now documents its slow disintegration. Robyn's face says what the script won't. She's tired of explaining, tired of apologizing, tired of pretending. The mask that once protected their image now feels heavy enough to crush it. If there's a cliff edge in this story, they're standing right on it, together, but facing opposite directions. Kody still believes the show, the marriage, and the brand can be saved. Robyn knows it's over, she's just waiting for the cameras to stop rolling. Because once they do, the real question begins. When the lights fade and the director calls cut, who will Robyn Brown finally be when she no longer has to play the role of Kody's last loyal wife?